Welcome to the football locker room. The transfer window is shut, and we have yet another record breaking transfer window spends this season in the Premier League. More £3.19 billion spent. Damn. Just imagining the figure that every season the transfer window breaks the record of the previous transfer window. What do you make of it? Who do you think did the best deals? Who did you think is like has disappointed their fans? Well, all right, let's start with the champions of last season, Liverpool.
Well, to be very honest, I'm not surprised with how this transfer window has gone. Every year they break the record, and this year as well they have done it again. So I'm not surprised with the kind of money that Premier League spends, Premier League club spends. But again, this season I think the margins were really small for clubs to consider any kind of, I would say there was no margin for error. So they had to make those signings. They had to
Yeah.
make sure that they have squad depth. And especially if I talk about this top six club, which is going to be Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Newcastle, and United. They all have
Tottenham.
done a good enough business, and special mention to Sunderland for the for the kind of money they have spent. It's crazy. But again, as you have rightly said, Premier League clubs have broke this record one more time. And I'm not surprised with the kind of signing, especially the British record fee transfer of Alexander Isak by Liverpool from Newcastle. So I'm not at all surprised with the kind of
Mo,
outgoings and incoming.
Mo, I think all this money spent when you talk about the billions of pounds spent, you know, all top six clubs, especially those who are playing in the Champions League, spending so much money in their squad depth. I think it's also down to the fact that now teams are required to play more games because
Absolutely.
Champions League is an extended competition now, irrespective of whether you reach a knockout stage or not. And also, club teams have to play a Club World Cup. A team like Chelsea, City, they were involved in a Club World Cup. So they need that squad depth to adapt to the modern day requirements of football. And
Absolutely.
just to
Absolutely.
uh, and someone like Liverpool, well, like the amount of money Liverpool has spent, the amount of signings they have done. Talking about Isaac, Ekitike, Words, they have broken transfer records in especially in couple of their signings. What do you make
Yeah.
of Liverpool here?
Well, I guess the money that they made by winning the title last year was one reason because of the money they got. Then they have been very smart, to be very honest, in doing the business this time, selling a lot of players at a good value, and then investing that money again in the market. So if you see, Arsenal is the biggest spender in terms of net spend. It's not Liverpool, though they have spent
Absolutely.
450 around 450 million pounds in their transfer window. But the net spend, it's Arsenal who has spent the most because Arsenal couldn't sell their players properly. Like
Yeah.
most of the players in the end, they have just gone on the loan. But coming back to
Yeah.
Liverpool, what a good signing. Alexander Isak, Ekitike. I mean, imagine Alexander Isak, Ekitike, and Salah with Florian Wirtz
Right
behind.
behind them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, and it's going to be a cracker of a season in Premier League this term for sure.
The best signing which Liverpool made for Arsenal was that they were not able to get through with Gehi signing, man. I think
Yeah,
this signing still keeps not able to sign Gehi. They are still short, a little short in their defense. And I think that is where I think Arsenal fans are slightly little more content that they are not able to get through the Gehi because I was glued to my X handle and I was just following whether they are able to sign Gehi or not. The moment I came to know that, Crystal Palace didn't go through with it while he was waiting in a hotel, having done his medical. I was as happy as if Arsenal had made a world class signing on the deadline day,
it's a blessing in disguise for Arsenal fans for sure. Because if they
especially
would have,
after Sunday.
yeah, if they would have signed Maguire before the deadline day, I think then they would have completed all their uh, pillars that they wanted to
Targets.
secure.
Yeah,
So
all the areas, all the boxes ticked.
all the boxes would have been ticked by that. But now as you rightly said, I still feel in defense they look a bit short. And when we saw Konate went off with an injury or something, we don't
Yeah,
know the extent of it. But again, one big injury uh, to Liverpool
and
club.
it, and they could be exposed.
They could be
Mo,
exposed and they'll still be exposed because we have seen, other than Arsenal, they have conceded goals by Newcastle, by Brentford. So there is some problem
you
there.
don't have to take a dig on us again. You have
No,
ranted enough on Arsenal.
no. To be very honest, I think that was not a good performance. And but yeah, we'll keep it for
Let's stick
transfer.
to transfers.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So more transfer window is not just about buying the players. It's also about how well you sell your players and make that money from your players. Arsenal are not great at it. We have like this has historically are not great at it. Our biggest sell in the transfer window has been Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain till date, and who went for and he went for around 30-35 million if I'm not wrong. Uh, so that's why I want to talk to you about Chelsea. Chelsea spent, I think they spent around 290 odd million pounds, but they were able to recoup 300
Minus by
odd.
three players. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and they
yeah.
were able to
I, I
recoup
have some.
300 odd. Like, what a
Yeah,
fantastic window for the Club World Cup champions, isn't it?
yeah. I have some figures here, just to talk about the kind of
That man.
bus- business they have done. Uh, so Petrovic, they have sold to Bournemouth for 25 million. Madueke to Arsenal for 49 million. Joe Felix to Al Nassr for 26 million. Drewsbury Hall to Everton for 28. Renato Vida to Villarreal for 26 million. And Cuckoo to AC Milan for 36. I mean, that's a good business for sure. It's
Yeah.
not just about, as you said, it's not just about getting the players in your club. It's about selling the players at the right money. And
And
again, Nicholas Jackson, whenever the deal will happen, right now it's on loan,
yeah,
but
they'll
whenever
get
it
that money.
happens, they'll get that money. So Chelsea have done a good business. Last year, we all were thinking, what kind of a transfer window is this, where they were just playing, where they were just buying players left, right, and center. But I guess this year they have uh, done justice to
Yeah.
what they did last year, and according to their PSI as well, they have managed that balance sheet.
Yeah, yeah. Chelsea has acted like a proper supermart. They bought the players last season and they shipped them now out this season. And I think Chelsea is one of those club who has had the best window. Considering this club hasn't been on top of their game for a very long period of time, not a very long, for a 2 to 3 seasons. I know they were the reigning Club World Cup champions, but considering that in the league their form hasn't been at the best, their squad doesn't look great on paper, but keeping all of that aside, their window was top notch. And for me, they were the team which had the, especially in top six teams in Premier League, had the best window considering the outgoings and the incomings.
Yeah, absolutely. And
And
even if I talk about the incomings, Joao Pedro from Brighton for 60 million, Dila from Ipswich 30 million, uh, Penda from Sporting for 40 million. I mean, you just keep taking those names and it won't stop. Gittins from Borussia Dortmund for 55 million, Garnacho from Manchester United for 40 million. It's not a bad
Garnacho for
window for them.
40, Jao Pedro for 60, they are great deals if they find the right manager, which they already have. I think players with Premier League pedigree is always a huge bonus for any manager. To buy players who have prior Premier League experience, they don't need time to adapt to the intensity, physicality. So, on and all, a fantastic window for Chelsea.
Yeah, the first season for Chelsea was a bit of a groundwork that they wanted to do, and they did it. Now this season they look like a proper team, and I'm sure they'll be competing on all four fronts. But again, it's still new for them. It's still kind of a
I don't think they will be competing for all four fronts, but all right, that's a debate for some other day.
yeah. I mean, they'll compete for it. Whether they go through
Yeah,
the different phases of the competition, that's a different story.
yeah.
But they have a team which can compete on all four fronts for sure. And
All right, Mo.
I want to talk to you about Arsenal here. What do you think of Arsenal in terms of the signings that they have made and how they look like? Do they look like a proper team with this squad there? Because especially after losing a game at Enfield, it's not a game changer league and the season is long. But what do you make of Arsenal transfer window, Arsenal transfer in this window?
I think more if we keep aside the sellings, which we have never been good at, so I'll just judge Arsenal basis the incomings, and I think this is the best transfer window this club has had in last 20 odd years for sure. Since I have been following it since 2006, Arteta now has an entire squad with the squad depth he wanted, with the kind of players he wanted. He shipped out Kiwior, got in Incapai because he believes Incapai is more suited to his system. So he got what he wanted. Got Mosquera as well. You saw how Mosquera played
Yeah.
against Liverpool. First game, like not the first game, but yeah, he coming on at Enfield against Liverpool, always a tough job, and he just fit in. He just fit in like he has been playing doing this role for a very long period of time. Now,
True.
so his defense is sorted. There is no issues with the players like Tommy Yasu who were good but injury prone. Players like Kiwior who were good only in patches and mostly had difficult time at Arsenal. And then when you look at midfield, he has upgraded from Thomas Partey to Zubimendi. He has got Norgard in for Jorginho, which is I think which is a very good upgrade considering Norgard's Premier League pedigree and that he's still younger than what Jorginho was. And then our problems was attacking flair, scoring goals. Now scoring goals, we have Jokeris in. Yeah, we have in case Bukayo is not there, we have Noni. No, you saw against Liverpool how good, effective
Yeah.
Noni was, and then of course Ebriche Eze is there. So you see, all in all, it looks like a very solid window for Arsenal in terms of players who have come in, and we don't have to forget the fact that for 5 years already this group has been playing. So to get integrate these players wouldn't be a very difficult charge, very difficult challenge. And I think it's all in all only with regard to incomings, all boxes have been ticked. People do say that maybe a left winger, we needed a left winger, but then again, you are always greedy for more players when it comes to your club. Now it's in hands of Arteta how he best utilizes them in the system he wants and gets us a couple of silverwares this season more.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
do you make
I
of it?
mean, Arsenal looks pretty good on the papers so far with the transfer that they have done, and I'm quite optimistic about how the season is going to be. And to just sum it up, if with this kind of a squad depth, if Arteta and Arsenal team, if they are not able to clinch a title or Champions League, I mean, then there should be a conversation which we can keep it for later. But yeah, what do you think about City in general? How I still feel they
City,
have, yeah, they don't look like proper,
they
like
are
they did a lot of transfers in January, so that's why
more.
I guess
If I
one
have
of the,
to talk about City, I yeah yeah. If I have to talk about City, I look what they have what they have replaced this season. Players like Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, who are long-term servants of this club, have left. These two players had a huge impact on City for a very long period of time. And now you look who they have replaced them with. They have replaced them with Ryan Cherke. They have replaced them with Tiani Reindeers. Are these good technicians? Absolutely. They are absolutely number one technicians. But are they good enough to have an impact which Gundogan or Kevin De Bruyne had in their at the time during when City was dominating the league and they won the Champions League? Perhaps not, especially at this stage. The physicality and intensity will always be a challenge for these two bowlers to meet and match. And I think they will have a lighter midfield throughout the season in the sense that they won't be able to dominate the league. They'll still be able to challenge in cup competitions, but I think overall, City's window is. I think they didn't have a great window in terms of incoming. That and considering Rodri is also aging, he's coming back from injury. They haven't found right replacement for right players, and I think that's a concern for Pep Guardiola here.
but
And
one thing
Ederson
that
has
I,
left as well. I think they have got. So sorry, Mo, I'm cutting in between. I think they have got Donnarumma right, and
yeah,
Donnarumma is a great shot stopper. But is he a Pep Guardiola goalkeeper? For me, the answer is no. He's not good with his feet. End of the story.
yeah, but they wanted a goalkeeper which is world class to replace Ederson, and I think that's why they
But
went for it. And they are very limited amount of good goalkeepers in the whole world when it comes to finding that world class goalkeeper. So I think they didn't have too many choices there. So it's going to be an exciting season to see what City does because of the fact that Pep is there. So he might just make things click. I have one question which I'd hardly get my mind around or head around. How come City gets player at such a cheap price where everyone is going for 60, 70, 80 million? City always
Yeah,
get their players at 30, 40. Like if you talk about Ryan Cherky, uh,
yeah,
he was a good player or in the League One. He was doing amazing. But
yeah,
then getting him for
yeah.
30 million pounds is, I mean, it's a steal deal. How they do that? Other than Haaland and Jack Grealish and a couple of the other players, they always get
Yeah,
a steal deal.
absolutely, Mo. I think, like, I don't have a ready answer for this, but I think maybe they have some connections in the right places, and they make things happen through that. Ryan Shirky for 30, Tihani Reindeers for 40, 45. But then again, you see Ryan Shirky and Tihani Reindeers not yet having those impact on the games. Like, maybe that's why they went for cheap. So we will only know once the season ends whether 30 million was the right value for them or not. And what if come this May, next May, you are sitting here and I'm sitting here, we discuss why did City pay 30 odd million for Ryan Shirky?
Yeah, I mean, it's
So,
always
so
something to ponder upon how they do their business
ponder
when it comes
upon,
to getting players.
absolutely more.
Yeah.
Talking
What do
about
you think
City, we
about
have to
United?
go to the red side of the
Yeah,
red
that's
side
where
of
I
the
was coming to.
Manchester.
United. Yeah, United. What do you think of the transfer that they have been able to do? I mean, more than the club transfer, it's for me, it looks like a problem in the whole system. But if please tell me, what do you think of the transfers that they have got in their club?
More for United, I think they have too many wounds to stitch up at this point of time. Uh, Considering what place they finished last year, 17th or sorry 15th, uh, they still could be were able to buy Mbuemo, Cunha. So I think those are two very good players. They should come good at some point of time in the season, because both have Premier League pedigree. Uh, I think overall they still remain short in that midfield area. They did get the in midfield area. They did not buy any upgrade in midfield. They haven't upgraded their midfield, which will throughout the season will remain a challenge for them. But we also have to consider. I think they are not playing more than two competitions now. They are out of the Carabao Cup. There is no Europe from there for them, and just the league to consider. So maybe they will be able to survive the entire season without buying a proper midfielder. But having said that, if one thing I would like to say is that if Amorim wanted a particular midfielder and he was not getting that kind of a midfielder, uh, to buy for United, and he didn't settle for anything less. So I think that is also a great way to go ahead, because Mikel Arteta, when he started, when he was not getting a right player for what he wanted, he wasn't settling for anything less. So because that just ruins your entire squad. Then you have that player for 3 years on higher wages. Then you have to sell him again. So this can be a right strategy. But for me, right now, United's window, I'll rate it 5 out of 10 or 4 out of 10. And I don't even want to talk about Benjamin Sheshko.
Yeah, yeah, no,
In case
Ben,
you
they
want
were
to say
managed
that
to
how
keep
good he is.
No, no. I was just saying that they managed to keep Kobe Manu
Yeah.
in the club, which was skeptical in the beginning when the transfer window opened. So I think they might just manage, but yeah, the club looks quite in danger in terms of where they're going to finish this season as well. Newcastle
Yeah.
uh,
And no complaints,
selling
they should
Alexander
suffer.
Isak. Sorry.
And I'm like, no complaints when it comes to United. I hope they keep suffering.
That is to be seen once the season is back after the international break. But what do you make of Newcastle? Because I think the kind of money they make from Alexander Isak sale, which is a British record fee transfer, I think they went ahead and bought two good players. Nick Woltemade, I'm still skeptical because of the fact that he doesn't have the Premier League pedigree. So we'll get to know what kind of a player he can be in Premier League. But definitely Jan Visa adding to their ranks. What do you
Yeah.
think? Is it good business for them considering Isak, proper striker, proper number 9, is out from their club now?
Yeah, so Visa is a good player we have seen for Brentford. He scored decent amount of goals for a club like Brentford. Is he when you talk about like for like replacement, he's not exactly Alexander Isak, to be honest. He's a decent striker. He will back some goals. There's no doubt about it. But he is not the striker you would rely on to take Newcastle to another level, which Alexander Isak was. So that way, I think that way, I think the Tuna Army Magpies will definitely be a little disappointed. But coming to, I think another good signing which they had was Anthony Elanga. He went to Newcastle as well, and I think that's a solid signing for Newcastle whenever he starts playing, or when he gets more time in the squad, in the playing 11. But apart from that, you can't really say much about Newcastle here because they really tried to hold on to Alexander Isak, and that wasn't gonna happen. He wanted to go to Liverpool. At the end of the day, he went to Liverpool. The best thing Newcastle did out of this entire saga was to extract the most amount of money they could, and they did it by breaking the British record transfer fee.
Yeah, and also I wanted to bring this to your notice that Malik Thiaw from AC Milan is a good signing. Jacob Ramsey from Aston Villa. Uh, these are
Jacob
also
Ramsey,
good
yes,
addition to the
absolutely,
squad.
man.
Yeah. So I think they have a proper decent squad to compete now. It's up to uh, the manager to see where he can take this club. Of course, it's a big dent with Alexander Isak kind of a player who was scoring goals for you. But yep, let's see what happens there. Well, Nas, overall, the transfer window, 3.19 billion is spent. There's one more interesting fact in it. 60% of the money out of 3.19 billion has been spent on forwards, which is almost 2 billion is just spent on the forwards
Everybody
this
wants a
season.
goal scorer more.
Be it, yeah, everybody wants to score goals because I think as much as defense is important, scoring goal wins you games as well. So amazing, amazing transfer window, and I can't really wait to just watch rest of the season once the international break is over and the Champions League will be back again. So, uh, what an exciting season ahead for all the clubs, but especially these top six and some other clubs who have made good signings. And I'm very excited to see what happens with Sunderland with the kind of signings that have made. So, yep, overall, a perfect window. And
Absolutely.
Max, thank you very much for joining me again. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram and Facebook page. Thank you, everyone.